Yardage for interfacing when using a commercial pattern. So we have a pattern here for a girl's top, tweens. Okay, see the styles, 4 styles, A, B, C, D. So on this envelope back, interfacing instruction or yardage to help you purchase is usually somewhere near your yardage chart. We have it circled here. So this is the interfacing instruction. How much you have to purchase is told to you on your envelope back. Now, so this is under your size chart and it's above your yardage chart. Okay, so what's the instruction for this garment? Can we see it? 5/8 yard of 20-inch, 25-inch wide, lightweight, fusible, such as Pellon. Pellon is a brand, a pretty well-known brand that makes interfacing. Okay, so some store clerks call the interfacing Pellon. If you go in a store, and you ask, may I purchase a yard of interfacing, black, lightweight? Oh, you're trying to find some Pellon. That's not the generic name for the item. It's a brand name. But if you know what they mean, you don't have to correct them. Just say, yes, give me some Pellon, please. All right. So where is interfacing often applied? Interfacing is applied at facings, to give shape to facings, collars, cuffs, and waistbands. Those are traditional areas. You can technically put it wherever you need to put it. You may need to put it where you have a button opening for a drawstring, or a button and buttonhole closure for a shirt or a dress. You may need it there. But classically, those 4 places are where we tend to find it and need it in our garments. How to apply interfacing. So there are 3 basic steps. Before we even apply it, I test it, right? So in order to test, you have to know where's the resin on your fusible. We're doing the fusible one, not the other. So before I even show students where it is, I tell them to hold it in their hand. Look at the fabric on one side, and okay, that's kind of hard to see. And look at the other side. Is there a difference? Well, if you can see, this side has little dots. Those are the resin dots, okay? That's your glue. So you don't want this side to touch your iron, because you're going to put the glue in your iron and damage your iron sole plate. You can see the resin much easier on this black one. It's like little diamonds, little sparklies. So this is one side, and this is the other side. Which side is more sparkly? This one. This is where the resin markings are. So these will dissolve and attach. Well, let's not dissolve. These will melt and adhere to your wrong side of your garment. So this is the wrong side of the interfacing. The same goes for the cardboard one. It has the shinier side. So interfacing, it's best you test it on your fabric just to make sure that it has the look that you want. So we have this fabric here. Already, I'm starting off wrong. I have the resin facing me. So this is the wrong side of my garment here. I want to test to make sure that it looks good, that the drape of it looks great. So one of the first things, you need your interfacing to be smaller than the shape it's going to be adhered to. A couple of reasons we want this to be smaller. We do not want the interfacing to extend over the fabric piece you are adhering it to, because you're going to risk it damaging your ironing board and being stuck to that. Okay, you could avoid that by trimming the interfacing down at least 1/4 of an inch in, but ideally you can trim it down 5/8 to the seam line. Whatever your seam line is. If your seam line is 3/8, then you trim it to 3/8, not 5. Okay? That's good for the second reason. That helps you to have less bulk at your seam. on your seam allowance. We don't like bulky seam allowances. It detracts from the look of your garment. Okay, so that helps make it less bulky. This is fabric. This is adding another layer to your existing fabric. So it's getting thicker and thicker and thicker. Okay, so after we trim it down, we put the resin side of the interfacing to the wrong side of your garment. Okay, then use a press cloth. I'll use a piece of this cloth here. This is scrap. Any cotton you have that's sturdy, you could use as a press cloth. And we're going to apply the iron. If you have steam, that can help. We're going to adhere this to the iron. Press cloths can really save your iron sole plate. So if you have a press cloth or access to one, please use it. So you keep it over the existing area, 10 seconds or so. You can investigate, and it's adhered. Oh, I think we need to go a little bit more on this side. I'll go without the press cloth for a second. Now we're there. So we changed the weight of our garment. It's a little thicker. Okay, it's a little bit more body. So we have all three of those interfacings applied to this fabric here. They all give it a different weight. So this is the fabric without interfacing, and this is the lightweight one. Okay, just trying to move it around, appreciate it. This is the black one. I think this is nicer than the white actually. I have to change my opinion. This is the cardboard one. Doesn't really move as prettily as the other. It's much more stiff. Okay, so the weight is very important. It can affect the look and the feel of your garment. The white one, the cardboard, it feels like cardboard. It's very stiff. Okay, all right, so what are some tips for accurate interfacing application? You want to apply it as perfect as possible. Oh, Ms. Pratt, there's no such thing as perfection. Yes, but there's a thing as striving towards it. You can work towards perfection. I try with my work. Okay, so we're going to, number one, follow the manufacturer's fusing directions carefully if you've never done it before. Okay, now whenever I buy the Pellon brand, it comes with their instruction sheet. Do I look at it? No, I've been using this for over 10 years now. But if you're a first-time sewer, they have all of the instructions and even some tips as to how to cut it out from an existing pattern. Okay, so this is very helpful. So this is good, so you don't make any mistakes. And they know what's best to do with their product. Okay, they're giving you the exact step. Okay, number two, pre-test the interfacing on a scrap of the garment fabric to be sure you like the results. Why is that important? It's kind of in the answer. You want to make sure you like the results. You want to make sure that it's the same way, that it's giving you the look that you want in your final garment, that it's attractive. Okay. 3, if a separate pattern piece is not provided, you can cut the interfacing out using the existing pattern for your facing, cuff, collar, or waistband. Okay, so if you don't have a separate pattern that says interfacing only, then use the pattern of the shape you're trying to put the interfacing on, but trim it down, right? That's important. So you must trim down that cut out interfacing by at least 1/4 of an inch. Ideally, you trim it to the seam allowance that you're sewing it at. Usually it's 5/8 right standard, but maybe it's less. You should know based on where you're sewing. And you should avoid it from being extended over your actual existing garment piece, okay? The interfacing shouldn't be bigger than the area is going to be adhered to. That's a flaw. You will damage your iron, maybe even your ironing board. 4, be mindful of the resin coating the back or the wrong side of the interfacing. So your resin is as we said, the glue. Okay, if you don't know where that is, you risk damaging your iron. for sure. Okay, it's gonna get damaged. So you know where it is. You don't make any mistakes and damage your sewing lab tools and waste your interfacing. So we know that it's not good enough to just know rules, to know steps, to know factors. You have to be able to justify why do it. Okay, if you don't know how to explain or know why things are important, you may think, well, I can skip this step, right? No, you have to respect every step, okay, and every rule. So justifying these rules are important, as you know with Ms. Pratt. Okay, so there you have it. Interfacing, how to apply, kinds, factors to consider when you're choosing. All right, I'm tired now from talking. Bye, students.